Well, let's start with the action on the Lal Street, where the bulls clearly bounced back from yesterday's sell-off and did so in style. The Sensex gaining over 1,500 points today, and the Nifty put on about 300 points thanks to strong global sentiment. All sectoral indices closing in the green, and the Nifty 50 stocks posted gains for the day. Anuj joins us now to wrap up the day's market action. What a bounce back, Anuj, by the bulls.
Stunning day for the market. Nobody could have thought that, we will do this kind of market action today. The SGX Nifty was indicating that we'll have a gap up, but the market opened much better than that and then kept building pace through the day. There was not a single intraday dip today. The Nifty was up over 2.5%. The Bank Nifty was up nearly 3.5%. And most of this was domestic in nature because globally there was no signal of something like this from either the US market futures or the Asian markets. The broader market has been very strong, so the big question is the start of something big? We'll find out. Quickly, let me run through the big gainers. Across the board, there were gainers, but financials stood out, whether it was names like Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Finance or IndusInd Bank. But the real impetus came from the big ones, SBI, Kotak, the HDFC Twins, ICICI Bank, and of course, others as well. On the gaining side, some of the other names which did well, Tech Mahindra, the Tata Group stocks, Tata Motors, Tata Steel, Titan, Maruti did well, Larsen did well, Infosys did well. As I said, today it was, almost like hitting a dart and, throwing a dart and it would hit a winner. The big question is this start of something big? We'll find out.
Anuj, many thanks. And shares of Reliance Industries today also bouncing back in trade a day after the company's annual general meeting. Multiple brokerages from Goldman Sachs, CLSA, Citi, UBS have a buy rating on the stock with the target price ranging from 2,800 rupees to more than 3,200 rupees a share. The street waving a thumbs up to the new investments proposed by Mukesh Ambani at the AGM. And let's now talk about the macros. GDP growth data for the first quarter of this financial year will be out tomorrow. A CNBC-TV18 poll is estimating a growth rate of 15%, and this is because of a low base as growth contracted by 26% in 2020 during the first COVID lockdown. The RBI has predicted a growth rate of over 16% for the first quarter, and our estimate is slightly below that at 15%. So that is going to be the big macro data to watch out for. But here's a CNBC-TV18 exclusive. The insurance regulator, that's the IRDAI, has proposed limiting the spend made by insurance companies. Sources say large general insurers have some reservations over the proposed move and are proposing a 30% standard limit on expenses. Yash is here with more. Yash.
Well, 2nd of August was when the insurance regulator IRDAI floated a draft consultation paper suggesting a cap on how much can insurance companies spend. Now, general insurance companies have submitted their suggestions, and there is a major change which has been sought by large general insurance companies here. IRDAI's draft consultation paper suggested capping of expenses of management at 30% or an average of the previous 3 years, but whichever out of the two is lower. General insurance companies want this particular caveat to be removed and have a standard cap of 30% on expenses of management, not having to follow the lower of the two. Now, these large general insurance companies feel that it will be negative.
Well, relief for Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, whose bank locker was searched by the CBI in the excise policy case today. Sisodia claims the CBI has given him a clean chit as they only found items worth 70,000 to 80,000 rupees in his locker. The minister had earlier tweeted that the CBI had found nothing in the 14-hour-long raid at his house and won't find anything in the locker as well. He further claimed that the CBI is under pressure to put him behind bars.
मुझे बहुत खुशी है इस बात की कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मेरे घर पे रेड करा दी। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मेरे घर की पूरी छानबीन करा के तलाशी करा दी, वहां से भी कुछ नहीं निकला। आज प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सीबीआई भेज के मेरे लॉकर की जांच भी करा ली, उसमें से भी कुछ नहीं निकला। यही इस बात का सबूत है कि आज प्रधानमंत्री जी की सारी जांच में मैं और मेरा परिवार पाक साफ निकले हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी की पूरी सारी जांच में एकदम क्लीन चिट है, कहीं कुछ ऐसा चीज नहीं है जिसको ये कह सके ये क्यों है, ये क्या है, ये कैसे है, कहीं एक पैसे का क्वेश्चनेबल कुछ नहीं है।
अरविंद केजरीवाल गैंग के भ्रष्टाचार की भूख ऐसी है साथियों, जो खत्म होने का नाम ही नहीं ले रही है। हमें शिक्षा के विभाग में भी एक बड़े घोटाले का सामने दर्शन हो गया है। सेमी परमानेंट स्ट्रक्चर बनाते हैं स्कूलों में, जिसके कारण पंखे गिरते हैं। दिल्ली के इतने लाखों बच्चों के साथ ऐसा खिलवाड़ क्यों?
Now, airlines have once again reached out to the government seeking help to reduce their financial burden. Sources say airlines are urging the government to rework the ATF pricing framework and move to mean of Platts Arab Gulf mechanism. The proposal is under examination by the Aviation and Oil Ministries, but no decision has been taken yet. Timsy Jaipuria joins us now with more. Timsy, take us through what has been proposed by the aviation industry and what is the government considering?
Well, that's right. What we are given to understand from sources is the fact that airlines have pushed for ATF price parity, and airlines have urged Aviation Ministry and Petroleum Ministries to intervene and consider a detailed proposal that they have presented to the government, including to move ATF pricing to MOPAG pricing, also to include ATF under GST so that airlines get the input tax credit like other countries. They provide this facility. Also, till the time the GST process takes time to get implemented, exempt excise and request states to reduce VAT. Also, they've requested that the government should look at import parity pricing, which is inequitable for airlines. OMCs are already selling ATF to international carriers at MOPAG pricing, and to end the differential treatment to Indian carriers, which is actually leading to a lot of operational burdens, and not to forget to remove multiple charges such as common use terminal equipment charges, etc., that have hurt the passengers as well as the airlines. The rationale very clear being that airlines say OMCs in India sell oil to foreign airlines refueling in India at benchmark global rates, while Indian carriers are charged at higher prices based on import parity pricing, which is as high as 20%, and that eats up their operational revenues. So let's see how soon these demands are actually being taken on board when it comes to the aviation sector. But yes, something that they are crying for right now is aviation turbine fuels pricing, which is hurting their operational cost. Back to you.
Timsy, many thanks for joining us. Daily wage earners, self-unemployed and unemployed persons accounted for nearly 50% of suicides in India in 2021. According to the National Crime Bureau record, that's not all. More than 25% of all cases of suicide in India were among daily wage earners. Santya Gora is standing by with those details. Santya.
So the National Crimes Record Bureau has released its 69th edition of its crime data report for the year 2021. NCRB has been releasing this detailed annual report since 1953, and this is considered the most comprehensive reference document to understand and evaluate crimes in India. This data is collected from states and union territories. And here are some of the important data points from the report. In 2021, over 1,64,000 people died by suicide. Out of this, 25.6% were daily wage earners. 44.3 or 23,178 housewives died by suicide, while 6.6% or people who are associated with farming sector, they died by suicide. Talking about economic offences also saw an increase in 2021 with over 1,74,000 economic offences being recorded this year, and this was 28,259 more cases as compared to last year. While Rajasthan, UP, Telangana and Maharashtra were states that recorded the highest number of economic offence in 2019, 2020 and 2021. Among cities, it was Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad and Jaipur. Cybercrime also saw an uptick in 2021. A total of 52,974 cybercrime cases were recorded across India as compared to 50,035 cases in 2020. Karnataka, UP, Maharashtra and Telangana, and within these states, Bengaluru, Mumbai and Hyderabad saw the highest number of cyber crimes in 2019, 2020 and 2021. Corruption cases also slightly increased in 2021, with 3,745 corruption cases being recorded in 2021 as compared to 3,123 cases in 2022. Environment-related offences increased significantly in 2021. While 34,676 environment-related offences were recorded across India in 2019, this number shot up to 61,767 in 2020 and 64,471 in 2021. Moving on to bodily offences, in 2021, 29,272 murder cases were registered across India. Talking about crime against women also increased in the last couple of years. From over 3,71,000 cases of crimes against women being recorded in 2020, this number increased by 15.3% to over 4,28,000 in 2021. Data shows that Delhi was the most unsafe city for women with 13,982 cases of crimes against women, 40% more as compared to 2020. All this is a small part of the mammoth amount of data contained in the NCRB report. As the Home Minister has said, the big hope is that all this documentation can help states to prepare their crime control strategies.
Santya, many thanks for joining us and taking us through some of the key highlights of the NCRB report for 2021. And with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of Business 360. Thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned to CNBC-TV18. The news continues when we return.